Ah, crap. Oh, shoot. I was sitting there trying to get a win in Fortnite right there. This right here is episode 2, going through the ACT 2022-2023 practice test. We're going to cover problems 6 through 10. So let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Oh God, I just hurt my own ears. Problem numero 6. Of 180 students in the college course, 1/4 of the students earned an A, 1/3 of the students earned a B, and the rest of the students earned a C. So the question says, how many students earned a C? There's a few different ways of doing this. I believe the quickest way is finding out what 1/4 of 180 is, and you do that very simply by taking 180 and multiplying it by 1/4. So 180 times 1/4 equals what? No shame in the game here. If you can't do this quickly, remember you can use a calculator, right? No shame in the game here. So go to your calculator, 180. You can write times 1/4, but multiplying by 1/4 is the same thing as dividing by 4. So 180 divided by 4 is 45. So 45 students earned an A. All right, do the same thing, find out how many students earned a B. Well, 1/3 of the students earned a B. Good job, students. So we multiply 180 by 1/3, or 180 divided by 3. No shame in the game. I'm telling you, no shame in the game. Remember, you want to average 1 question per minute. So if you save time on some questions, feel free to use some of that time that you've saved and use your calculator just to be certain that you get things correct. So divide 180 by 3, you get 60. So there were 60 students that made a B. Now, if the rest of them made a C, well, let's add up the students that made an A or a B. So 45 plus 60 is 105. So I'll put A or B here, right? All others made a C. Well, if there's 180 students, 105 of them made an A or B. How do you find the rest who have made a C in the course? Well, you take 180, you subtract 105, and the answer here will be F. 75 students made a C in that course. All right, on to number 7. All right, number 7 says, ooh, that's a lot of reading. Some of the time we saved in previous problems we might use here reading. The number of fish, F represents the number of fish, that's what that means, in Skipper's Pond at the beginning of each year can be modeled by the equation f of x is equal to 3 times 2 to the x power, where x represents the number of years after the beginning of the year 2000. For example, when x equals 0, that represents the year 2000. X equal 1, that represents 1 year after 2000, so 2001, and so forth. We're asked, according to the model, how many fish were in Skipper's Pond at the beginning of the year 2006? All right, so let's look at our model. Let's just write it down. All right, I like writing things down. F of x is equal to 3 times 2 to the x power. All right, be very careful here with your algebra. Remember PEMDAS. We talked about PEMDAS in the previous video, okay? Parentheses first and then exponents. You do not multiply before you take care of those two operations. 2 to the x power, 2 to the x power, that is an exponent. So do not multiply 3 times 2. This does not equal 6 to the x power. I see so many students making that mistake. Order of operations is highly, highly important. We're asked to find how many fish were in Skipper's Pond at the beginning of 2006. So how many years have passed? Well, if x is 0 at the year 2000, well, that means we need to plug in 6 for this problem. So plug in 6. We're going to find the function at 6. So we're going to say 3 times 2 to the 6th power. Now again, you have to raise 2 to the 6th power before you multiply by 3. Go to your calculator, 2 to the 6th power. Go ahead and hit enter. Don't make any mistakes with your calculator. All right, so 2 to the 6th power 64, multiply that by 3. Yeah. 192. So let's circle that in blue. Booyah, 192. All right, there you go. On to number 8. All right, number 8 says, Manish drove from Chicago to Baton Rouge. At 8 a.m., he was 510 kilometers from Baton Rouge. At 1 p.m., he was 105 kilometers from Baton Rouge. I hope I'm saying that right. Which of the following values is closest to Manish's average speed in kilometers per hour from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.? So let's just talk about some terms here. Anytime you hear something per hour or per anything, per means to divide. So we need our kilometer unit to be in our numerator and our time unit, which is hours, to be in our denominator. So let's see here. At 8 a.m., he is 510 kilometers away. Okay, he's traveling, he's getting closer and closer and closer. So as time moves on, let's say at 1 p.m., he's now 105 kilometers from Baton Rouge. So he's traveled the difference, right? He's gotten closer. How much closer has he gotten? Well, 510 minus 105 is equal to 405 kilometers. So he has traveled 405 kilometers in how many hours? Count them on your fingers if you have to. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That's 5 hours. So we're going to take 405 kilometers divided by 5 hours, and we're going to get 81 kilometers per hour. Letter H. Number 9. All right, number 9 is a geometry problem. Don't assume that it's drawn to scale. We all know what assuming does. In the figure shown below, E and G lie on the line segment AC. D and F lie on the segment AB. The segment DE and the segment FG are parallel. That's very key. They're parallel to the segment BC. So we can make a little notation in our picture. And the given lengths are in feet. What is the length of AC? So we're looking for the length from A to C. All right, if you look here, we have a triangle right here where we know two sides of that triangle. All right, the triangle ADE. Now, because if you visualize the segment from A to D stretching all the way to B, such as this, okay, and then the segment AE stretching all the way to C, such as this, and BC is parallel to DE, right? Remember, that was very important. You could say you have similar triangles. Let me know in the comments if you've ever studied similar triangles. Similar triangles are proportional to each other. Remember, a proportion is a fraction that equals another fraction, okay? Two things are proportional. It's kind of like one is scaled from the other. Now here we're given some very important information as well. This is 8 and this is 16. Then I can conclude that because this is 7, this is 14. All right, if this is 6, then this is 12. Now all I have to do is add these numbers up. 16 plus 14 plus 12, and I have the length AC. Answer D. Last one, number 10. All right, number 10 says, Katerina runs 15 miles in 2.5 hours. What is the average number of minutes? Notice that that is italicized. They're emphasizing that, minutes, it takes her to run 1 mile. 15 miles over 2.5 hours. Now this is a really clean decimals. Excuse me. really clean decimal, so 2.5 is 2.5 hours. Okay, now that is very important. I'm going to emphasize this here. This is hours. That's hours. So if I calculate this, 15 divided by 2.5, feel free to bring out your calculator, is 6. But look at our units. She can run 6 miles per 1 hour. Okay, notice the answer 6 is in the choices. Do not rush. They emphasize the word minutes here. 6 miles per hour. So hopefully you know unit conversion. If not, then this is actually pretty easy to convert. But unit conversion, I do have a video about unit conversion that I made a while back. Feel free to check that out. I'll actually link it in the description. We need to convert the hour unit into minutes. To do that, well, we're going to multiply by something called a conversion factor. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, so we do that so we can cancel out the hour unit, and finally we'll have, well, 6 over 60 is 1 mile per 10 minutes. And again, I got 10 because 6 divided by 60 is 1 over 10. So that's where the 1 over 10 came from. 6 over 60 reduces to 1 over 10. They both can be divided by 6. All right, so there is my answer, 1 mile per 10 minutes. So it takes her 10 minutes to run 1 mile. All right, I hope that helped in these 5 problems. Remember, I will soon be releasing a video, problems 11 through 15. So look for that, and I'll see you then.